Hello, everyone. Well, we are focusing on supporting women 40 plus. So today's topic is really understanding herbs. There are so many herbs in the world, but specifically herbs and natural remedies that would help with perimenopause and menopause. So to talk about this topic, we have Lauren. Lauren is a naturopath from Australia focusing on women's health. Welcome, and thank you so much for joining me, Lauren.
Oh, hello. Sorry, it's Tanya. Tanya Kurzbock.
I'm sorry, Tanya. I'm sorry.
Right.
All right, Tanya. Yeah. All right, Tanya. So let's just understand. First of all, we know menopause is a natural cycle that happens to all the women. So let's just talk about herbs that can help with menopause relief overall.
Yeah, great. It's such a wonderful topic to talk about because often women are going out and just purchasing products from a health food shop without really knowing what they're buying or if it's going to work for them. And there's a chance it might work, but quite often it doesn't. So it's great that we're talking about this a little bit more specifically today. So the best sort of herbs that we use for menopause need to have specific actions that help with what's going on for the lady. And there can be quite a few things. So when we start moving towards menopause, we could be having problems with sleep, we could be having issues with digestion, we could be having like really bad hot flushes or night sweats. Lack of energy is a really big problem, and mid-afternoon crashing, like fatigue and crashing in the middle of the afternoon. So all those symptoms, they usually come with a number of them, and when they're together, it's really, really bad. So picking one herb that only works on one of those symptoms may not give a woman much relief. So that's why sometimes you hear women say, I tried this herb, it worked for my friend, but it didn't do anything for me. So there's a little bit of complexity behind any hormone imbalance. But we will talk about what is the most commonly used and most successful herb for menopause. But I wanted to just outline why someone may not get relief, and that it's not that there's something wrong with them. It's just that there is something that maybe hasn't been addressed that they need. So menopause is when we don't have a period for 12 months. So women might be moving towards that and having irregularities in their period, or they may be in menopause with no period and getting the typical like hot flushes and sweats, night sweats and that sort of thing. There's a few things that can happen. They could be having low hormones, so low estrogen, low testosterone and low progesterone. They're the three sort of main hormones that start to drop away and cause symptoms. If somebody's getting hot flushes and they're fatigued, maybe anxious and having sleep issues, you need a combination of herbs. But I would say the most commonly used herb just for hot flushes would be black cohosh. So black cohosh is estrogen modulating. It helps to bring estrogen up, which will reduce the hot flushes and just normalize that thermal response in the body. So that one's a really, really common one that women use. I'd say the next most common would be wild yam or Chinese yam. That's another herb that's really beautiful for hot flushing. If someone's libido is low, so if they're noticing that they are just not getting the same feelings in sexual relationships, then there's some herbs that help there too, such as shatavari. That's a really lovely herb which you might want to add in. And some women have really excessive sweating. So some women just get hot and they get red, but others get sweaty. Like their palms get sweaty, they just break out in a sweat. So if there's a lot of sweating, sage is actually really good. Even a tea made out of sage from your garden can help if you add that into your day, 1 or 2 cups a day. So there's some ideas.
Okay, so that's that. I think that's great. Let's just talk about maybe some other remedies that you, as naturopath, in addition to the herbs, do you have any other remedies that you would tell someone who's a menopausal woman?
Yeah. So aside from herbs, um, I always look at adrenal health. So the adrenals make our steroid hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, give us that lift. But in menopause, the adrenals also take on the role of making sex hormones. So if someone is in menopause and they're having fatigue as well, then you really want to look at adrenals. And some nutrients that are very important for adrenal health are all your B vitamins. So a good quality activated B complex. So it has all the Bs. And vitamin C is very good as well, just for building those hormone pathways. Zinc, basic minerals as well, which sadly a lot of people will be low in just because they're not eating a diet maybe that has enough nutrients in it. There's quite a few factors why our nutritional status will be low. So yeah, a nutritional plan is often also put alongside herbs.
And do you practice homeopathy? I'm just curious in the sense, like, does homeopathy work?
I'm not a homeopath, but I do practice a little bit of homotoxicology, which is a more modern branch of homeopathy. Have you heard of that?
I've heard
Yeah.
about it. Does that work or not?
It does. It's very different to traditional homeopathy. But I find as a naturopath, for the way that I work, it works very well. And the way I explain it to my clients is that homeopathy or homotoxicology, it's like the music in the body. So it's like when you clean the house, if you put on slow music, you're going to clean the house slower. If you put on really exciting music, you're going to move faster and clean your house faster. In the body, homeopathy changes the way our body acts and interacts. So it can be very, very useful for shifting the body into new ways, new pathways.
So most of the women, at least, it's interesting. I was reading a lot of research, and menopause is different as per different culture and ethnicity, which is, like an Asian woman might be eating more soy products because of the tofu, and or someone else who's grown up in the Western world might not be grown up with the soy or some other products, right? So the interesting thing is mostly Western women have hot flashes than Asian women. That's a very interesting fact. So to brings down to my question on hot flashes, what kind of herbs, what can women do if they have hot flashes?
Yeah. So, your black cohosh and your sage, if it's that hot, sweaty hot flush, are good herbs for that. One of the nutrients that particularly that I see working in Australia that is very, very low in women is iodine. So many Asian cultures, especially when you look at the Japanese, typical diet, have much more dietary iodine in them. In Australia, we don't. Most people are iodine deficient, and that actually has a big effect on estrogen in the body. So the iodine helps the way that estrogen enters your cell and works. So it sort of like primes the cells to take in the estrogen. So yeah, there's an interesting nutritional aspect around it that's important, definitely.
Okay, so this is a quick 10-minute session that we bring on a daily basis. My last question is, talk to us about some research and scientific evidence as far as efficacy of herbal remedies. Do they work or not?
I haven't got any links or studies up right now in front of me. But I guess looking at it anecdotally, we've been using herbal medicine for thousands and thousands of years, basically since humans were in existence. Herbal medicine was the medicine. So we know that it works. When it comes to testing of herbs for specific therapeutic outcomes, there is definitely a very large field of study now, which is correlated with traditional wisdom, so that we know that these herbs work. We know the dosage of herbs that is needed to get a therapeutic outcome. Certain phytochemicals have been identified to have certain properties that work in the body. So these common herbs, especially these menopausal herbs we just talked about, have been rigorously studied in placebo, controlled trials to prove, one, that they do work, and two, that they are statistically relevant for women to be using, in the modern day, I guess you could say.
Okay, well, I think that, topic of hormone replacement therapy and herbs is a completely different topic that we want to discuss at another time. For today's session, the fact that natural therapies, herbs, there are so many options for women out there to go through the journey, right? The menopause journey, which could last from anywhere from 1 year to all the way to 10 years. It's a long, like a period that we women would go through. We can easily make it easier if we embrace some holistic lifestyle, right? Do you want to comment on that? That's the last comment, and we call it a quits.
Awesome. Absolutely. That journey for most women can last 10 years from the age of 35. So everyone moves into it earlier. As soon as you start seeing those changes in your period, that's the sign that your hormones are changing. The earlier you can get that beautiful natural support, the better the whole journey is going to be for you. But if you're at the end and you're suffering with endometriosis and bad periods and skipping periods and hot flushes, then herbal medicine can still help. So no matter where you are in that journey, there's always better. There's always something that can be done to improve your health and how you feel.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Tanya, for being with us. Really appreciate that. To all the viewers, we are focused on women 40 plus going through perimenopause, menopause, and beyond. So stay tuned as we continue to bring you these small sessions and launch our programs soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.